Hi guys, happy Friday. Today we've got a fun Friday workout plan for you. There's going to be 6 different stations and then we're going to switch up the movements each round. So for the warm-up guys, you're going to go 25 seconds on, 10 seconds off. I'm going to go over all of these movements when we go over all the movements for the workout. These are probably the 12 that you might not be the most familiar with. So you're going to work for 25 seconds to practice and then 10 seconds transition. I've also written out some instructions on some of the other ones, which I'll go over later. After you finish the warm-up guys, what you're going to do is go through our 50 unbroken Russian swings. After that, we're going to go into our workout. So this is going to be 45 seconds of work, 15-second transition. There's 5 rounds total, and then there's 6 stations. So it's 30 minutes total for the workout. The way this works is, for round 1, you're going to start with your jump rope and you're going to do fast single unders. After the 15 seconds transition, you're going to go to a front plank. After that, you're going to go either American or French or Russian kettlebell or dumbbell swings. After that, you've got 2-handed overhead press. You have your RX burpees. And then lastly, you'll finish out this round with sit-ups. You can add weight if you want to. After the 15-second rest, you're going to go right into round 2. And again, you can read from left to right what the movements are. Basically, we're going to work just the right-hand side of the body on round 2. Round 3, we're going to be working mostly the left-hand side of the body. And then 4 and 5, we get into a little bit more complicated movements. And that's primarily what's going to be in your warm-up. So let's go through the jump rope options. So the first one is just our fast singles. If you don't actually have a jump rope, then you're just going to pretend you have one. Remember, ideally, our hands are right about our hips, and then our palms are face out, and then we're just bouncing on the balls of our feet as we're jumping. Second movement in our jump rope category will be a right leg only. So you're just standing on the right leg, still bouncing on the balls of the feet. Arms are in the same position. Third movement will be left leg only. Our next one is a lateral hop. So with this, what you're going to be doing is just imagine you had a line down the center of the mat here, and then you're just going to be jumping side to side as you're jumping rope. And then our last movement in this category, guys, is our double unders. If you don't have double unders, what you can do is our penguin claps, where you're going to jump in the air really high and then clap your hips 2 times. Okay, so that completes our jump rope category. For the plank, we're going to start with a front plank. So hands are going to be underneath the shoulders, and then we're going to squeeze the butt and make sure everything stays nice and tight. On the next round of our plank, we're going to go right side plank. Ideally, if you have some sort of seam in your mat, you're going to make sure that your ankles are in line with your shoulder. You can go up onto one hand like this, or you can go onto the elbow to make it easier. You can also drop that top leg in front and hold here for the time. We're then going to go onto our left side plank in round 3. For round 4, we've got a reverse plank. So for this, my hands are going to be basically just beyond my hips, and my fingers are pointing out to the sides. I'm going to keep my legs straight. I'm going to prop my hips up, look up at the ceiling, and hold here. So I'm actively thinking about pulling my shoulders back, chest up, head up to the ceiling. And then our last plank movement will be our walking plank. So we're going to start in that front plank, go down to the elbows, and then we'll switch sides. For the next grouping, we've got swings. So for the first round, you can go American, which means overhead. French is kind of our forehead height. And then we've got Russian, which is our shoulder height. Okay, so I'm just going to start demoing there. All of the movements start the same way. Kettlebell on the ground, and then we're going to hike through the legs, keeping the wrist in the upper groin area, and then we're going to squeeze the butt as we lock out, either at Russian, French, or American. So first is our Russian, a little higher is our French, and then locked out overhead is our American swing. Okay, so whatever you can do for the 45 seconds, that's what I want you to do. After that, we're going to go right arm only. So again, same setup. We're just using the right arm though. I like to have my left arm shadow what my right arm is doing. Okay, so it's going to stay on the outside of my leg. As my right arm goes back, my left arm goes back. As I come forward, comes forward. Third round, we're gonna go left arm. So again, we'll shadow with that right arm on the outside of the leg. Then we're gonna go alternating arms. So in this case, what I want you to do is actually switch arms while you're in air with the kettlebell. So you're gonna start with one arm, and then you'll switch to the other. I like to kind of twist mine or twirl it. It's just for artistic flair. Don't feel like you have to do that. Main thing is just don't drop it. And then lastly is our traveling Russian swing. So I'm gonna kind of test your mental fortitude here, and also make sure that you don't hurt yourself with the kettlebell. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to swing as I lock out in my Russian height, my shoulder height. I'm going to bring the feet together, okay? As the bell comes down, I'm moving the foot out of the way to get the bell through. I'll come back together at height, and then I'll move my other foot. Okay, so I would practice in the warm-up. I put in no weight because I don't want you to hurt yourself, all right? So this is how it's going to look. So as I lock out, bring the feet together, and then I'll switch sides. So I'm moving my foot out of the way as the kettlebell comes down. And then I'm moving the foot in as I lock out at shoulder height. Our next grouping is our overhead pressing. For these, it really depends on what weight you have for your dumbbells. If they're really lightweight, feel free to go ahead and use both. If it's a heavier weight, just use one. The first one's going to be a two-handed press. So for this, you're going to have the dumbbell in this front rack position, and then you're just going to press. If it's a heavy weight, you can use your legs. If it's really heavy, you can jerk. If you have lighter dumbbells, what you can do is just use both for your press. On the next one, we're going to get into our split jerks. People struggled with this during Tuesday's Zoom class, so we're going to add it in here today. If my right arm is forward, my opposite leg, that's my left leg, is forward. Okay? I'll bring my my left leg back, right leg through, both are underneath me, arm comes down. Okay? So I'm going to bring the weight up into my right shoulder here. I'm going to dip and drive. So opposite leg is forward, right arm is up above. Bring both feet underneath me, weight back down. And I'm just going to stay on this side. You have to have both feet underneath you, everything locked out before that weight comes down. Third round through, we're going to go left side. So I've got the weight in my left hand. This time my right leg's going to go forward after I dip. Bring both underneath me, then you can move your arm. Do not move that arm until both legs get underneath you. Again, if you have two light weights, you can use both arms, but just make sure that you're going right leg forward on round 2 and then left leg forward on round 3. For the next one here, we've got some negatives. So what that means is we're going to press the weight overhead, and then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back up. Again, you can use 2 weights if they're lighter, but the idea is that we want to increase the time under tension. That's why we're coming down nice and slow with a 5-second count. And then our last one, ideally this works with just one weight. And you're going to go shoulder to shoulder. So what that means is I'm going to start with the weight in my right hand. I'm going to go up, and I'm basically catching it with my other hand. Okay? You can slow this down and press up here, transfer, bring it down. But this is a good way to kind of practice your cycling on movements like one-arm snatches and things like that. Next category is our burpees. So first burpee is our RX burpee, so it's just chest and thighs touch the ground, jump up, jump and clap. Round 2, we're going to go right leg only. What that means is only my right leg is going to touch the ground, left leg is up in the air. Jump and clap. If you need to modify this, what you can do, I'll go over the left leg here. I'm just gonna come down. If I need to plant that other leg real quick, and then just kind of use that leg for assistance. But ideally, I want to try and just work one leg at a time. Next one is our reverse burpees. So for this, what I'm going to do is start standing. I'm going to go back, touch my shoulders, jump and clap. So one more time, I'm going to go back, kick the legs up, jump and clap at the top. Last is our Navy SEAL burpee. So for this, what we're going to do is jump back to a plank, push up, right knee to right elbow, push up, left knee to left elbow, push up, jump, clap. All right, our last grouping is our core with our sit-ups. So for these, just our regular sit-up. You can use an ab mat if you have one. Feet are butterfly, touch the shoulders, touch in front of the toes. If you want to use a weight, you can hold that at your chest. Next one is going to be straight legs. You can still use the ab mat if you want. Straight legs, go back, touch, come up, touch in front, or touch the toes. Next one is going to be our bicycle crunches. So for this, I'm getting set up in my nice hollow body position. Hands are behind the head, bringing in opposite knee, opposite elbow. I can go fast, I can go really slow. But the main thing is we want to feel that nice crunch in the core. Our fourth round, we're going to go alternating V-ups. So I'm starting on the ground here. I'm going to come up, touch opposite arm, opposite toe. If you want to stay in a hollow body the whole time, make it a little harder, that's fine. Make it easier. Just go all the way down to the ground. And then our last one, we are going to stay in a hollow body position. And what we're going to do is bring the knees in and hug them. So these are our hollow body Shin huggers. Okay, so pull them in nice and tight. If you need to modify this, what you'll do is just not stay in that hollow body, go all the way down to the ground. You can also keep the feet or the heels on the ground as you hug those shins really close to you. Guys, it's gonna be a fun workout. I hope you can join Coach Matt on Facebook Live at noon tomorrow for our Friday Fun Day with our various stations. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. As always, good luck, move well, have fun.